Welcome to the Glenn Beck program. Hello, America. We are approaching what I call the trilogy of holidays. And I always talk about this around Christmas time, but when I talk about it, it's too late to do anything. I'm changing. This show is going to change next year, and I hope you come along for the ride. I want to start a little earlier because we have a lot of work to do. The trilogy of holidays, it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Well, we've made Thanksgiving into football and turkey. Christmas is about the presents, and then New Year's, we always say the same thing. So what's your New Year's resolution? And because we're so stuffed from pie for the last 5 weeks, we'd be like, I got to lose some weight. And then we're given that opportunity as a reset, and then for some reason we don't do it. I mean, we're convinced by society that we can't. One thing we can't do is it's abnormal in our society to downsize, to clear out the clutter in our lives. It's unnatural. Psychiatrists say it's unnatural. It goes against the growth that we think. We think it's growth to get bigger and more. People don't choose it because all of society is going in one direction. Every year we're given a chance to say, whatever it is, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to go to church more often, whatever it is. And if it's usually lose weight, I mean, I usually last about 4 hours, but some people, last like 6 weeks, mainly because you paid for the gym membership. And you're like, I feel guilty about it, I just paid for that, and then you just give up on it. I think these things happen because we don't understand the holidays. From now until New Year's, I'm going to help you prepare for change, real change. I'm going to make changes in my life, changes that you can make in yours. By 2012, come with me for just a second. By 2012, I hope this would be the winning slogan in America. Yes, I can. And it begins tonight. What are the guys in the gray suits? Who are they? West Point. Hello, America. I have a whole studio full of people from West Point tonight. I'm going to introduce you to them here in a little while. But I want to talk to you about the trilogy of holidays. And I want to start with Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. What it's supposed to be, what we've done is we've turned it into football. And basically, I mean, I know I'm not alone. You don't let your wife see it because you're just so disgusted by yourself. You undo your pants a little bit. You're just like, I think I'm going to vomit. But an hour goes by and you're like, is there any more of that stuffing? That's the way it is. That's what we've done. We've turned Thanksgiving into food and football. And then we approach this time where we have to change. We want to change, but we can't. And I think it's because we haven't looked at the first holiday in the trilogy here. We haven't evaluated our own life. You can't really evaluate your own life until you know what matters in your own life. You say on New Year's Eve, I'm going to lose weight because you're a big fat fatty. But that's just looking at the negative. I mean, you don't want to be my eyes in the mirror every morning out of the shower. You don't. I mean, it's hard to sometimes miss the negative. We look at the negatives and the problems daily on this program. But I'm going to start looking at some of the assets next year. We need to do that in our own life as well. I think that's what this holiday is really all about. Split the word. Don't make it a compound word. Split it. Thanks and giving. Okay. So what is it that you're thankful for? Just take the first half of the word. What is it that we're really thankful for? Is it your country, your freedom, your house, your family? See, I think this is the problem. This is a problem in Washington. This administration has not looked at our assets. Everybody in Washington, both sides, they'll say, oh, we're going to fix the problem. But they leave the biggest asset out of the solution. What is the asset? What is the biggest asset this country has? Is it our wealth? It's our people. People are the biggest asset you have. And we leave that out. Why would we do that? How could we possibly solve a problem? Now look at the second half of the word, giving. What are we giving? Are you giving your time? I have a hard time with that. Man, I go to do charity stuff. I hate it. I hate it so much. I get into the car and my wife's like, "You gotta go over." And I get in the car and I hate it. We went and we worked at a homeless shelter. And I was just like, oh, I have so many. Every time I give service, every time on the way home, I say this, and my wife she just started just looking at me now. She don't even say anything. I'll say, "We should do this more often. I don't know why we don't do this. I feel so good." Now she just does this to me. Really? It feels good to give. So you're giving time, you're giving money, energy, backbone. Some give their lives. I've never been asked to give my life. I think I'm too much of a chicken. I don't know. I can't even fathom what it is like to be in war. This week it was Veterans Day. And we tonight have a whole audience full of someday veterans. The country's best and the brightest. It is not easy to get into West Point. And yet our country, somehow or another, why West Point? You should have gone to Harvard. Have you ever been to West Point? The best and the brightest. And these men and women may give everything. They may give their eyes, their arms, their ideas, their energy, possibly their life. Gosh, what are we given? You know what makes you want to give? Gratitude. The thanks part makes you want to give. I can guarantee you, I haven't talked to them yet. I'm actually going to spend some time with them after the show tonight. But I can guarantee you that they know exactly why they're serving. They know what they're serving for. If they haven't, you guys might want to reconsider your decision. Every soldier I've ever met, everybody in the military, they are serving for a specific reason. It might be different for everybody, but they have found something about this country that makes them want to serve. They are grateful, they are thankful for something, and so they are giving. Another word for giving is service. And when I thought about this earlier today, I thought service is an interesting word because you ask somebody in the service, "I'm in the service." Really? Doesn't that seem like an incomplete sentence? I'm in the service. Of what? In the service of what? In the service of their country. What are you in the service of? You're in service of what? Your country? Your God? Your family? Your children? Your house? Your car? Your debt? What is it? Because you are in the service of something. What is it? If you are truly in the service of your country, then I think maybe it's about time our country says, thank you. I am going to try very hard to not get overtly political here, because then everybody in the military always has to go, "Oh no, don't look at me. I neither agree or disagree." So keep the cameras on me here for a minute. There's a group of people that are serving our country, and they are Well, I was going to say they're not wearing a uniform, but they are. They're all wearing blue suits and red ties. And the blue suits and red ties, a lot of them have been great. A lot of them stink on ice and have caused a lot of our country's problems. And then there are those in the military service who allow amazing things to happen. They don't force things to happen. They allow amazing things to happen. The biggest service they render for their country is not going out and fighting and possibly dying. It's that they stand guard to allow us to be protected enough to have amazing things happen. Now, what are we doing with our freedom and our time that they stood or will stand on the wall to protect so we can do something? Well, what is it we're doing? Gosh, look what they're giving. Are we thankful for what we have? A way to give is to do something important with your time, with your freedom. I want to show you this. This is phenomenal to me, and I address a little bit of this in the book Broke, which is the plan to restore our truth, our trust, and our treasure. But you can't. Everybody focuses on how do we get out of this giant debt. You cannot get out of this debt. You cannot get out of the box we've created for ourselves. Certainly cannot do it if you don't have truth, if you don't have honesty. If we don't restore ourselves first. But there are things in here to restore our treasure. There are simple things that we can do. There are common sense things that we can do. And one of the things that I address is the obscene amount of money that we are paying our politicians in Washington. I want to show you. This is the average guy in the U.S. Army. In the Army, they serve for 4 years. They get out with a specialist. As a specialist, they make $22,676. 4 years. Pick up a gun and go stand in the line of fire because your country asks you to for $22,676. They ain't doing it for money. The average American makes $50,462. That's your salary. The average American, $50,000. Now here's where it gets good. The average salary of a federal employee, you know, the ones who can never get the paperwork right. The average person serving in Congress. Remember, they use that word. They don't have a job. They're serving in Congress. This is their master. This is the defender of what they're serving, the ideas of the Constitution. This is the guardian that protects them as they're supposedly protecting the Constitution. This is their master, we the people. How much are they serving? How much do they get paid in the service? This, by the way, is not an average salary. This is what they all get. This is the basic salary. $174,000. Which one is the master and which one is the servant? Which one has the most to be grateful for and yet doesn't seem to be? It goes back to the idea of cleaning out the stuff in our life. Maybe it's that they have too much.